President Wu prepared 5 million for me, and Mr. Ma's own 5 million, a total of 10 million. The horse's arrow was on the string and had to be fired. Now I have no way out. According to Chairman Wu, tonight's gambling table has been raised to 20 to 3 million. It is advantageous for gamblers with a large number of horses. Gamblers have more room for display and can operate more calmly. Especially for gamblers who like mommy's babies, the pretty girl and officer have already played 7 or 8 times. There seems to be a long heads-up opportunity on the road sign, and 3 of them have been listed in a row. I quickly called a stop, guest officer, pushed the 200,000 to the banker, lined up the cards, and was shot dead. A bad premonition came over me. It started badly. 200,000 is the minimum bet on today's table, but in my baccarat experience, it is a mama's amount. President Wu smiled. It was nothing, it was all the way at the time. The pretty girl and the official continued to play cards, and they had 3 free chats when they came down. I pushed up 500,000 and opened the cards. The pretty girl was a ruthless gambler, and my skills were cashed in twice in a row. It was a sign of my self-confidence. It's a big blow. Although the number of horses stationed in the subsequent dozens of mouths was adjusted to 100, 150, 200, 250, and 300, there was a back and forth between winning and losing. At the end of the round, the horse station was settled at 4.5 million. President Wu and Dongzi couldn't sit still, and the expressions on their faces were not as relaxed as before. Of course, I was even more heartbroken. 4.5 million yuan, equivalent to my company's annual profit, was wiped out in just a few hours. Looking at President Wu, who was pretending to be calm, I felt guilty. Dongzi suggested to pause the next game first and not start in a hurry. President Wu proposed to go to New Galaxy to play, and then asked for my opinion. Of course I couldn't say anything. So the 3 of us walked out of the VIP room on the 33rd floor. Dongzi has horse washing accounts in all major casinos. According to the wishes of the customer, he can play at any casino, including those small casinos. According to Dongzi, New Galaxy is Chairman Wu's blessed place. Whenever he loses money elsewhere, he will go directly to New Galaxy. The weird thing is, I still win money every time I go. Chairman Wu never regarded New Galaxy as the first place to fight. New Galaxy must have lost a lot of money elsewhere. In his heart, he had long regarded New Galaxy as a trump card to make a comeback. This is my first time coming to New Galaxy. I inquired about it in a luxurious style and walked to the interesting shops on both sides. I had no intention of looking at it. I spent 4.5 million on it. I was heartbroken all the way. I hope President Wu will use his power. The killer weapon can regain the lost ground in one fell swoop and recreate yesterday's glory. Dongzi led us up to the 4th floor, which was a gambling hall called the Welcome Club. One Kaoshan, a common man in the gambling hall, and Dongzi were old friends. Back then, Dongzi was still a gangster in major casinos. He started a small business of helping people wash horses and count them. It is said that Kaoshan people are quick-minded and good at doing business. They claim to be the Jews of China, which seems to be true. Later, he disappeared for a few years, and when he reappeared, he was already the boss of this gambling hall. It is said that the Ingbin Club has its own gambling rooms in major casinos, which shows that its strength is extraordinary. But in the years when he disappeared, no one knows where he went or what he did. He himself would be a legendary figure among Macau casino owners. Dongzi came one by one with infinite admiration on his way here. Dongzi put us in the rest area to wait while he went to the accounting room to negotiate. This is a medium-sized gambling hall with 8 gaming tables, 2 of which are placed in 2 different luxury private rooms. The casino is not very popular, with only 3 cards in operation. I just sat on the sofa with Chairman Wu, lit a cigarette, and chatted for a while about nothing. After negotiating with the cashier, Dongzi led us into one of the private rooms holding a large pile of chips. This room was booked before the arrival. Dongzi and the supervisor had made all preparations before the start and were ready. President Wu was invited by He Guan to cut the cards. He took the card knife, muttered something in his mouth, and then shouted "kill all directions" and stabbed the card knife fiercely. With one strike, the outcome of this game is basically determined. He Guan discarded the first 10 cards as usual, and then started flying cards in an orderly manner. Dongzi pushed the chips in front of Chairman Wu, 5.5 million. Chairman Wu said to me confidently, "Brother, the new Putin has also changed the world, now it depends on how I deal with him." Everyone was in a good mood, and Dongzi and I almost shouted in unison, "Brother, come on." What I admire the most is President Wu. No matter when and where he encounters any difficulties, He can talk and laugh with ease, lift things with ease, and ultimately resolve the crisis. The fact that he was elected as the leader of the grassroots Chamber of Commerce with the largest comprehensive strength is the best proof. There are elites in the Chamber of Commerce, and it must be unreasonable for everyone to respect him and recommend him as their spiritual leader. His company has also been awarded the honorary title of the city's largest private enterprise with large profits and taxes for several consecutive years. This is a 100 gambling table with a minimum of 200,000 and a maximum of 3 million. He Guan is a petite and exquisite girl, and the supervisor is a middle-aged man wearing glasses. At this moment, He Guan had already discarded more than a dozen cards, but President Wu still stood still. Wu turned a fierce lion lurking in the grass, quietly waiting for the prey that came to die. The prey finally appeared. This was a suspicious makeup, with 2 points just exposed, and several other trails were also clear by land. President Wu signaled He Guan to pause, and then slapped a 5 million yuan kidney on the village. The cards were opened and the banker shot past. Everyone cheered. It started smoothly and the atmosphere became lively. Immediately afterwards, President Wu pushed another 1 million to the banker. President Wu has a tough style and a fierce fighting style. I have heard about it for a long time, and my boss has also seen it in New Putin. When he encounters a path that he likes, he basically tries all 3 concepts. If the interest comes, he can still make the move even if he has passed 5 levels and odd ones. It has dominated the shopping mall for many years. He developed a strong character and bold style that dares to fight and fight. What he calls success is xiaohe and failure is xiaohe. His boldness, fearlessness and unwillingness to admit defeat are applied to Baijia. You will only lose worse than ordinary people. More thorough. 1 million more was given to President Wu. Without thinking, he slapped the 6 big kidneys heavily on the bank for 3 million. He did not secretly understand the laws of the 3 views and pushed 2 million. Instead, he directly filled up the 3 million table. It's crazy. My heart was pounding. The terrible President Wu. Where did he get such confidence? If this mouth is given, the 4.5 million new Putin launched into the water will regain it in one fell swoop. The exciting moment is coming. I glanced at President Wu. No changes can be seen on the surface at all. But I guess he must also be uneasy inside. After all, it is 3 million. If you don't feel anything, then he is still a human being. Dongzi was nervous from the beginning. Secret beads of sweat broke out on his forehead. Although the gold and silver casino has been around for many years, but such a fierce style of play is rare. Jianpai finally opened its camp. When the beautiful Miss Higuan burst out these 2 words with her sweet voice, the whole audience cheered. Even the supervisors standing on the sidelines. I couldn't help but utter an exclamation. The boss is awesome. 4.5 million were successfully recovered. A big stone hanging in my heart finally fell to the ground. Dongzi seemed relieved. No regrets, always grinning. Enjoying the admiration of everyone. I called Dongzi to the side and whispered a few words. I mean to ask President Wu to take a break and rest. Then in the fortune-telling pool. After all, 4.5 million has already been repaid. If it keeps spinning like this, I'm worried that my little heart can't stand it. For me, at this moment, I feel like I have died. Dongzi agrees with my opinion. Back to the table. I was planning to speak before Dongzi opened his mouth. President Wu has already pushed 3 million to the bank. He Guan is dealing cards. At this time, Zhuang Long has made several mouthfuls in succession. President Wu took the 8th shot. He wanted to strike while the iron was hot and push it a few times to finish the job. However, good luck cannot always be on President Wu's side. Xian Pai shot him dead. Zhuang Pai and Zhuang Long were intercepted at the waist. My heart is in my throat again. 10 million. Another $3 million were lost in the bet. The situation took a turn for the worse. Chairman Wu saw the opportunity, pushing the table full again. But he still didn't give it, and he missed 2 mouthfuls in a row. The loss further expanded to 6 million. I'm anxious. He quickly pulled President Wu off the gambling table. Like a roller coaster. Only 20 minutes. We experienced the ecstatic recovery of 4.5 million and the bloody loss of 6 million. People with heart problems may pass away in a snap. Sit down on the sofa in the lounge area. President Wu didn't seem to have recovered from the gambling game just now. Eyes blurred. In a daze. Maybe he didn't have time to adapt to the state of falling from the peak all of a sudden. Yes. I have never experienced it personally. How many people can feel it? I handed him a cigarette. Then he ordered, "Brother. It's nothing. We still have a chance." President Wu pretended to be relaxed and responded, "This is my blessed place. I have confidence. Brother. Don't worry. Let him return it with interest later." Dongzi suggested going outside to relax. President Wu and I agreed immediately. At this moment, calm down and adjust your thinking should be the best choice. Dongzi is not only a qualified horse folding boy. It is also an old Macau that has been battle-tested for a long time.